So I want to give you guys a quick preview of my nature sketchbook. Technically this journal is not completely filled, and that's because there's a lot of pages in this book. It's not really meant for watercolors, but I just ended up using watercolors out in the field. Not too heavy, but there's not that many days in Florida to get out, especially when you don't really like the heat. I do not like the heat, so it has to be a cool day for me to get outside. And when I first started this is actually back in 2020 when we know what happened then. To get outside, I started being outdoors. I've always gone out and hiked and stuff, but I don't know if I nature journaled as much until this particular time I started doing it more. And I even did it at my local dog park with my pup, Sasha. And this was an oak, this particular place I go to that has a lot of beautiful oaks. I had done this study out at the park as a start, but then I came home and I added more details, and I really liked it's really detailed. It's not my typical nature journal study, but I really like the way it turned out. And then some things didn't always get finished because maybe I was distracted or something was going on. But sometimes even the quick things kind of look cool. I love trees. You probably know that the more you spend time with me here on this channel. And a lot of the places that I go to hike, the places that I love to go that are the closest for me, show up a lot in this particular nature journal. So, and I really love places that have lakes, that have trails. And I like making notes. And I love in this particular one, this is a juxtaposition between an architectural feature, which was really just a structure for holding wood, because there's campsites on the property. And I liked the fact that there was architecture with all the nature around it and the shadows and stuff, and that was kind of fun. And I've got some things covered up so that it's not always like prominent. My favorite places I like to keep to myself, especially when it comes to full-on social media. But I like the quiet moments where I can go out, and sometimes I'll take a chair or a hammock or something. And I did this a lot, especially with my pup Sasha, because she made me feel very safe. She's a German Shepherd. So this was February 2021. Sometimes things aren't always great. Like, I didn't really like the way this ended up being, but some of my little stickies are getting old and they don't want to stick. There was a quick leaf study I did, and just a little tree has a bunch of stuff growing all over it. Again, another visit to the dog park. And often what I'll do is in my notes, because I usually make a note of things that I'm hearing. There are very meditative moments out with my nature journal. I always like to take notes of the birds that I'm hearing, because I'm a bit of a birder. I'm not an advanced birder, but I'm somewhat of a birder where I know a lot of different species when I hear them. So I don't always have to see them. So if I hear them, especially if a familiar migrant, like in the wintertime we get catbirds, which makes a meowing sound. It sounds like a cat. So that's why they're called catbirds. And I like making notes of the temperatures, and it's funny, when I started getting into flying my drone. I have a drone, and I got certified, so I'm an FAA certified drone pilot. And I did that for my own pleasure and also for using at work if I ever needed it. I haven't, but I got it for several purposes. But because I was doing that, I started taking note of the humidity and the clarity and those sorts of things that I thought added to additional details about my trips. So but these are it's a very relaxing process. I love carrying this because it's so small and light, and it allows me to capture a moment, but yet I don't have time. I don't have the benefit of time to sit around and overstudy things and overanalyze things. So all these studies are very like quick studies, capturing notes of light. And I loved in this particular image how at the bottom of the trees, I don't know if you could see this very well, but at the bottom, the trees are cool because the shadows are going across the landscape. The sun was starting to set. And so where the trees were shading, the bottom part of the trees, they were darker. And at the top they were lighter because the sun was still hitting them. And this is like one of my very favorite places to go. And I would make note of anything special that we did. Like here I'm making a note of, so I lost a little sticky. Making a note of giving Sasha a little snack that she loved. So the sad news is that I lost my Sashie last year. She passed away on the same day that the Queen passed away. So it was very sad losing her because she was a great comfort and made me feel very safe when I was out in the woods by myself, especially just because she's a little intimidating looking as a German Shepherd, so no one would bother us, and not that there's very many things to be scared about. There's no problems with snakes in the wintertime because they're all too cold to be out and about, so I always felt pretty safe with her, especially as I was doing my watercolors. I didn't feel like I had to be too observant of anybody because she would definitely let me know if someone was coming. But I really loved being able to just, especially when I got my hammock, that was like one of the best things that I ever got. Because it was so light to carry in, and I just put it up in between a couple of trees. This particular image got too muddy. It got away from me. I overworked it. And I could put that hammock up between two trees and just lounge out there, and it was the most peaceful moments. And I could sit there with my watercolors and just, this particular page was actually done while I was laying in my hammock. I just was laying in it for a second, and I looked up and I just liked all the variations of the leaves in the sky and the shadows. So I decided to play with that quickly. But you can see that some of my watercolors are super quick. I'm just capturing a moment. It's almost like a poem, I feel. It's like a whisper of a moment in time, capturing how you're feeling, being in the trees and the wind blowing, and that's why I like having notes. And sometimes I like capturing little things if I can, like this little pieces that fell off a tree. This is a longleaf pine, and those are tiny little pine cones starting to grow. And then more studies of the lake. And then if you've seen any of my other videos or my last video, you will all already seen this study of this. I think it's a sand pine, and I really love this tree. So I've been out there. I did this study in the field. I did it in oils. I've done it just drawing it in a small sketchbook. I've drawn it a few times because I love the bones of trees, just the structure, and I just thought it was beautiful against the landscape and the warm grass. And then this is one of my favorite places next to the lake where I like to sit. And just studies of every little place. I could take pause, anything that really inspired me. And this particular day I was in a what they call like a duck blind, and I was painting this image outside of the duck blind, and over on this side over here there were a couple of little Carolina wrens that were bebopping around in the bushes, making all kinds of cute noises and stuff. It was March that day, and they were probably just out and about for nest hunting, I would think, since they were very busy at doing something. So that would be my guess. And then just capturing the sunset on the lake was one of the final things I did that day. Again, revisiting all my favorite places. Wishing that I could capture it in a way that speaks more to my spirit than anything that a photograph could just capture. A photograph is more impersonal. It's an accurate depiction of what you see in a place, but it doesn't capture feelings the way that sketches in your nature journal can really capture. So yeah, to me it's more of it's beyond just an image of a place. It's a feeling, how it made you feel being there. And I love the warmth of the trees and the cools and the grass. And here in Florida, we always have palmetto growing, no matter what time of year it is. So there's always green somewhere. And here was a place where I didn't have a pen or a pencil, so I just had to actually sketch out my notes using my brush. And here's, I wanted to show what it looks like from my view in my hammock, so I included my feet in this quick sketch. Nothing amazing, but it was nice. April 10th, 2022 with Sashie. And then this was last year, because usually by the spring I can't go out, and May 29th was the last day in 2022 that I could go out. And I made a note in here of my plans to go to South Korea. And then this note over here was for when my Sashie passed away, that she had passed away. And I was just making a note of it. And I'm saving a little spot here because I want to do a doodle of her. Because that's one thing I didn't do as much out in the field, or certainly not very often, especially out in the field, like I said. I did not draw her very often. So that's just something I wished I had done. I sketched her at home off and on, but not enough, probably. But it was very sad losing her. And to be honest with you, at the end of this video, I want to do like a little memorial of her. I want to share images of her. I didn't want to talk about this for a long time, so I've put it off for a very long time. So, and then these are just images, quick images that I captured near a retention pond near my house. So, and then this, I actually went out to Ormond Beach and did some quick sketches of a large oak that's there, and me just driving around, doing quick sketches of the marsh, and there's a quick sketch of the beach. And then I went back to this place and I wanted to try charcoal and like a wash, and so I did this, which I don't love it and I don't hate it. So I like the silhouettes with the light coming in behind the trees, and that's what I wanted to capture. And then this was something that I captured at a little restaurant over in Ormond Beach that sits next to a river. So that was that. And that was the last one that I've done thus far. That was June of this year, being again one of the last somewhat cool days that I was able to get out and about. So, but now that we're starting to get cool weather again, I'll be able to get back out and enjoy some outdoor time once again.
You like to be teased. What are you saying? You like to be teased. No, you do. Sit there. Don't knock my tea over. Hey, cut it out. Cut it out. Stop. Oh my gosh.
Hey. Lay your head down. Lay your head down. Lay your head down. Oh, you're so cute. You are? It's you? Are you cute? Lay your head down. Lay your head down. Oh, you're so cute. Aren't you? Are you cute? Are you cutie? Look at it. Who's shy? Oh, are you shy? Are you shy? Are you a shy girl? What's your problem?
Sashie. Look at Sashie. Sashie's on an adventure.